Hey, everybody.
Well, hello, everybody.
Another beautiful Sunday.
Oh, it's a gorgeous day out there.
It's a great Sunday. Want to welcome you into another live stream, RV Underway. We are about, I'd say, a week and a half away from hitting the road again.
About that much, yes.
Sun is bright.
I was looking at
We're looking at the calendar. Yeah, Mary Jones says, please hit the thumbs up if you would. This is part 2 of our What Have We Learned So Far. We're going to be discussing those topics here. Want to thank everybody for being here. Got back. I don't know why that. Go ahead and take it over there now.
the mouse.
Yeah, take the mouse over there. There we go. Phil and Sandy are here. Thank y'all so much for being here. We certainly appreciate it.
We do, and
We said Mary Jones and John from Over the Hill RV. Mary Jones was our winner of an RV Underway ball cap last weekend.
that's right.
You got them ready for the mail right over
They're
there.
right over there. I'll be taking them to the post office tomorrow.
Yeah. And if you hadn't noticed, we got some new mics. So do tell us how we sound. If we sound any different.
It doesn't look like they could even see the mics.
Well, it's
You can
okay.
see mine.
Here's the
I
microphone.
see yours. Yeah.
Here's
Okay.
the mic. But I feel better. It's like old time radio.
Hello, Kenneth Oaks.
Kenneth Oaks is here, Ford Man, aka.
And he's typing through his phone. And Sandy's impressed that you got her name right.
Yeah, I've been practicing.
Anyway, Mary says we sound good.
Good. I'm proud. I've toted these microphones around for a couple of thousand miles. Finally decided to install them and see if it helps with the sound quality.
Well, I hope it does.
And maybe me and Miss Barbara can get our podcast off the ground.
Yeah.
RV Underway Podcast. Ramblings of a Weak Mind.
There you go. The sound seems to fade when you move your head. Well, that's because.
Well, of course it does. It's a directional microphone. It's a studio quality mic.
So
and
that means I've got to learn how not to move
Adventures
my head
in Xanadu. Bear, you'll understand. These are very similar to the old RE20s from Electro Voice. I've got no processing on them, so they are just straight mics. But thank y'all for being here, Bear and Dawn.
Absolutely.
We certainly appreciate it. Adventures in Xanadu. Another Sunday in the South. It's a beautiful day.
Hello to Leslie.
Hello, Leslie from Wayward Waggs. I spent most of my days sitting in a lawn chair with denatured alcohol, cleaning that runner for the floor.
Yeah.
It had come up. Our slide had a runner on the front, and it had come loose.
Yeah.
And they had added several layers of glue and some silicone, so I had to go in there and clean all that off.
Well, I didn't get a chance to work on the runner itself. I took the little
scraper, yeah,
and cake spatula, and I had scraped most of it off the floor itself. So hopefully that wasn't too hard for you to clean. But
I went through with the alcohol, denatured alcohol, and cleaned that entire surface. So now the runner I can glue it on properly.
Well, that's good because it was falling off every time we walked
every
in or out.
Single time.
So I threw it outside.
I put it in the basement. And we toted it like these microphones for several thousand miles. If you're just now arriving, this is part 2 of What Have We Learned So Far. If you missed last week, go back and watch that. A lot of good information. A lot of folks out there in the chat gave us their input.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa's here.
Lisa's here, and James Catanese is here.
Hello, James Catanese. We're going to see you in less than a month.
In less than a month. Absolutely. Well,
if you don't know what we're talking about, let me go ahead and enlighten you. In about, under a month, let me find it here. In under a month, we are going to be in Bastrop, Louisiana, and we will be there for the Slow Mo Crew Rendezvous number 2. Slow Mo Crew Rendezvous 2. That's going to be in Bastrop, Louisiana, the last week of April. And we're going to be there. We look forward to at least 19 other channels being there.
Something like that. I'm really excited about seeing all of those.
Slow Mo, KT,
yeah,
and BJ, and Mel and Nettie, who are hosting, they're sponsoring it, are putting on Slow Mo Crew Rendezvous number 2. We had the first one last year, and we had a blast.
It was wonderful.
Wow.
Especially if you like to eat.
A lot of music, a lot of campfire, a lot of food. I believe Saturday, the last Saturday in April, is going to be a big crawfish boil. That'll be our second crawfish boil in less than 2 weeks. I'm going to be full of crawdaddies. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't think
it's going to be fun.
Crawdaddies.
That's going to be fun. Miss Barbara loves crawfish. Tell us how much you love crawfish.
I like to watch you all eat the crawfish.
You don't like to pinch it off and then suck the head?
No, but I did like standing next to Mike.
Yeah.
Because he would go ahead and peel them for me and
hand them to you.
The meat.
Yeah. But we're going to have crawfish, and then we're probably going to have Miss BJ will get a hold of what we got left, and we'll have crawfish pie.
She's going to feed you. That's for sure.
And maybe a little crawfish etouffee.
Adventures in Xanadu will also be at Bastrop. He says at the Motel 6.
Are you serious?
And he said, LOL. He'll be at the rendezvous.
Are you really?
He's going to be there. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of great folks there. I'm really looking forward to it.
Laissez les bon temps rouler.
The crawfish isn't that bad, Lisa. My main problem with something like crawfish and stuff like that is the seasoning. Sometimes the seasoning is
it's
too
spicy.
Much for
it's
me.
Sharp, yeah.
And so now they can throw the potatoes in there, the corn and all that stuff. And the corn will take up most of the seasoning. But it's good. But
you know what the corn is for? I mean, the corn's good to eat.
It cools it off.
That's right. The corn is frozen, and you freeze your corn, and that's the last thing you put in. You got your sausage and your okra and your potatoes and your seasoning, and you got your crawfish, and right at the very end, you toss in that frozen corn and brings it right down, and everybody digs in. Doesn't take corn long to cook.
No.
Yeah. But we're looking forward to a crawfish boil in McHenry, Mississippi.
Yep, that'll be the middle. Well, if everything works out, it'll be on the 16th, day before Easter. On the
16th, and we're celebrating birthdays. My birthday is in April, and Miss Jones' birthday is in April. And
I'm not sure exactly what day we're going to do the crawfish boil, but that would be about right.
Yeah.
If it's not the 16th, it's going to be the 23rd. And we have to hit the road shortly thereafter.
And then we'll head up to Bastrop, Louisiana. Yep. Speaking of the Slow Mo Crew Rendezvous, once again, that is April 25th through.
Strange adventure is
wow, here. Harold and she's looking at me. She's trying to wait for me to Cindy and the pups. She was waiting on me to come up with the. Boy, look at this glow coming in. I'm going to close this and see if that helps any. Yeah, that helped a little. But Harold, Cindy, it's good to see y'all. Proud that y'all can make it. The Aloha Conch is here.
Well, aloha to you.
Aloha. Anyway, Speaking of the Slow-Mo Crew Rendezvous, April 25th through May 2nd. And Mel and Nettie, Living Free Zip Codeless, Mel and Nettie are sponsoring this year, and they've set up a couple of giveaways, one of which is a series of 2 gift bags for RVers, and $2 for a donation, basically a raffle. And all the proceeds will go to KT and BJ for hosting, because they cook a lot of food. They go out of their way, their property and their hospitality. And so we just want to give back to them. And Mel and Nettie have made it possible through these gift bags. $2 or the raffle price, or the donation, the ticket. And that will be, that drawing will be on Saturday. Let's see. Yeah, Saturday, April 30th. And then on Sunday, the grand prize is going to be a Blackstone grill, pre-seasoned, and a carrying bag. I believe that's a 17-inch Blackstone grill. $5 for the donation or raffle ticket. In this case, again, all proceeds will go to BJ and KT for hosting the Slow-Mo Crew Rendezvous dos, April 25th through May the 2nd. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a big time, large time. And Bear and Don, I'm looking forward to meeting y'all. I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of folks. James Catanese.
Yes.
Can't wait to see him and Cindy.
We've also got, at least here in our chat right now,
we
have Desert Adventures in Arizona.
Desert Adventures in Arizona. Good to see y'all.
Yeah.
Again, those of you who come in late, this is part 2 of what we have learned so far. Me and Miss Barbara have been RVing for almost 4 years now, 2 years full-time in the RV, 1 year full-time on the road in the RV. And that may sound odd, but we actually lived in our driveway beginning 2 years ago, really at the onset of COVID.
Yep.
Our son worked in the health industry, and we gave him the house, and we moved into the RV. And a year ago, this April, this month, I finally retired, semi-retirement, and we hit the road and have been going at it now for a year. And so these are things we have learned so far. Now we have another big list today, and we encourage you to chime in the chat with anything that you could add, because folks out there can get a lot of good information from it. Last week we had a great show. We talked about a lot of things we had learned, and realized at the end of the show we had so much more that we had learned that we needed to do a part 2. So this is what we have learned so far in RVing, part 2. And we'll jump on that here in just a minute. Justin and Christina and Michael and Angel are here.
Also, we have BB3 with Murder Mystery Haunted History here.
Who will be coming on later.
We've got Lucky Dog here, Sue.
That is Sue, Lucky Dog Productions moderator.
Yep.
Mary Jones is a moderator. Justin and Christina are moderators. Mel and Nettie are moderators. I don't think they're here today, but they are as well. So anyway, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And before we get into what we have learned so far, part 2, I just wanted to wish my lovely bride a happy 40th wedding anniversary.
Aw, thank you. Well, you've been here for 40 years too, so happy anniversary to you.
It's been over 40 years.
It's been a long time.
It's been over 40 years that me and Miss Barbara have known each other, and 40 years actually on the 26th of March was our 40th anniversary, and we postponed it a little over a week.
Well, we have stretched it out because we celebrated it in Key West, which was 100,000
We didn't celebrate
ago.
it in Key West. That was Valentine's Day.
Well, I don't know. We told a lot of folks it was our 40th
Well, we did
anniversary.
say that we lived here when we were in Key West, we told everyone we lived here 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And we did get married in Key West, and we were able on this trip to go back to the courthouse where we were first married by a justice of the peace. And then we went to Pizza Hut for our honeymoon, and then we went back to work. That's how the day went
for us. Yes.
That's how the day went. And that was 40 years ago, March 26th.
Yep.
So we have been married over 40 years, and I can't imagine spending my life with anyone else.
Same here. I mean, when I repeat it after you've already said it, it's like I'm not really saying it.
Yeah,
but
like I love you. Me too.
No.
But anyway, thank you so much for the anniversary wishes. We certainly appreciate it. But yeah, it's been 40 years. And last night we finally, because we came off the road just over a week ago.
Yep.
And we finally had time to settle down long enough to go to town, have a nice meal. We went to the local steak and seafood place. I had seafood. I had oysters and chowder. And I'm gumbo. Sorry, gumbo. And Miss Barbara had a steak, baked potato, and what else? Steak, baked potato, and some
onion rings and
onion petals. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the main part of it. Oh, shrimp.
And then we, like those on a honeymoon, we went to Walmart.
We had to get some supplies.
We had to pick up a few things. So
we try not to go into town too much, right?
Buddy,
now.
that right there is a good anniversary right there. Go out and get yourself some oysters and then head for Walmart.
Well, we had to combine the trip because of the price of gas.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We had things to pick up for the
RV. We also
RV.
have Angie Hay and family here.
Angie Hay and family.
Angie
Thank
Hay
y'all for
Family
being
Adventures. Here. Timmy Ray the King asked me to. He was mentioning that the rendezvous is also a dual thing. It's if I can find a comment. She says it's two meetups at the same place. It's going to be Slow Mo and Timmy Ray the King meet up together.
Oh, I got you.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to be sure to get that in.
So Timmy Ray's got folks coming. All right. Let me grab the mouse real quick, Miss Barbara, and let everybody know that today is National Aquatic Animal Day. And there's a little right there. Little sea turtle. And right over here, it says it is National Aquatic Animal Day. So we're celebrating our anniversary and National Aquatic Animal Day, as well as part 2 of things we have learned so far. We're going to get right into them.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
Have you said hey to everybody?
I think so.
Appreciate you folks. Got 20 folks in the room. We appreciate y'all being here on this Sunday. Here is our first item on part 2 of things we have learned so far RVing. Do not arrive after dark.
Our dog just agreed with that.
Agreed with it, right. Now, we have arrived after dark.
We have, and we're comfortable enough with our RV that it's not a major issue, but it is difficult, especially if you're new to RVing, and if you can at all avoid it. Yeah,
if you can avoid it, do so. Try to get there before the sun goes down. Give yourself enough travel time to get there and get set up before it gets dark. Everything is harder in the dark, and you make mistakes in the dark. And that's where your RV gets wrinkled and your ladder gets crushed and you run over something. So try not to get there after dark. And if you're not comfortable parking your RV in a tight little state park or Corps of Engineer park, or
especially a place, well, obviously a place you haven't been before.
Yeah, if you haven't been there, if you're not comfortable, find a Walmart, Cracker Barrel, truck stop, and go ahead and boondock the night. Just sleep on it and get up next morning with the sunrise and head on over, check yourself in, and do it in the light of day, because trying to get everything right in the dark ain't fun. And I know sometimes it's unavoidable, but if at all possible.
And a lot of it has to do with what kind of a vehicle you have. Christine, that's me combining
Justin and Christina.
You know, they've got a van, so coming in at night's not necessarily a problem for them. And they drive a lot, you know, in the evening too. They're actually in Fayetteville, North Carolina right now.
Really? But if you've got a big Class A or a fifth wheel, and you're really not comfortable working after dark, hey, there's Barrett. Hey, Barrett.
You know what's on our counter
Yeah,
back here?
right over there on the counter. You can you see it? I'm going to try to point to it. Right. The Gimpy Camper. There's my coffee mug, Barrett, sitting right there.
We also have.
Thank you, son. I appreciate
Weep
it.
the Wild Winds here.
Weep the Wild Winds. So number one, try not to arrive after dark. Because arriving late and tired is a recipe for mistakes.
Yes.
All right. Know your RV lifestyle.
That's important. And it takes a little while to actually figure out who you are.
Yeah. Are you a boondocker? Do you like operating off the grid? Are you capable? Do you have solar? Do you have generator? Are you comfortable off the grid, or are you a glamper? Do you have to have hookups? I know Leslie and Dustin, they really don't like to boondock. There are folks who just wouldn't care to boondock. If they have an opportunity, they're going to hook up. So know your lifestyle, your RV lifestyle. And the only way to know that is get out and try it. If you're a first-time RVer, you've got to take your travel trailer or your fifth wheel or your A, B, or C or your van. Go out and try it and do that close to home.
That's the next. Barrett's got an excellent suggestion there. If you do come in at night, a cheap thing is to help with the battery-powered glow sticks to mark the edges of your
That's a good
site.
idea.
I like
Great
that.
idea.
Like a runway.
I know that Matilda 3 here has docking lights, and they are blazing. So if I do have to park it at night, I turn those on, and that's just an aid. And, of course, you've got Miss Barbara with a cell phone or walkie-talkies, helping out. So.
And the walkie-talkies are kind of important, too, because some areas your cell phone may not work. But you're also at the wheel, and you probably can't handle a walkie-talkie and the wheel and backup and all that stuff, too.
Well, I can tell you one thing about being behind the wheel at night in the dark. You've got security lights at the campground. Mm-hmm. You've got the lights of other campers. You've got lights from passing cars and trucks on the thoroughfares inside the campground. And you're trying to look through a rearview mirror with all these lights going on around you. You can get lost.
Yeah.
It can get dangerous. So just be careful. And if you're not comfortable at night, and the second one was know your RV lifestyle, boondocking off grid, or are you a glamper? Do you need to have hookups and so forth? Only you can answer that. Number 3, make friends in the RVing community. This is probably one of the biggest ones of all. And there's our friends.
Right here. Mm-hmm.
Right here. If you've got a question about RVing or camping, the lifestyle, the rig, if you're in a community, whether it's a social media community, such as YouTube, or if it's a club, such as Our Village, or any of the other numerous clubs out there, make friends in the RVing community, because that's your biggest resource for information.
Absolutely.
It really is. So make friends in the RVing community. Number 4.
I didn't number them.
I know. I'm not gonna count off the number after this one. I'll lose place. Slow down and enjoy the journey. I mean, let's face it. Why are we RVing? We're RVing because we enjoy it. Honestly, if this was a rigorous task, almost like work or a job, I wouldn't be out doing it. We RV because we enjoy it.
Well,
and
we
if you're
enjoy
constantly
traveling.
if you're constantly packing and unpacking and moving and packing and unpacking and moving, and you don't have time to enjoy it,
Right.
slow down.
Right. I agree.
All right, next one. Understand your tire pressure and the age of your tires. That's one thing I learned. I didn't learn it the hard way. There are a lot of RVers who did learn it the hard way with a blowout.
Right.
But the fact that your tire looks good, has plenty of tread, don't mean squatty dookie. It don't. It don't. If your tires are over 7 years old, it doesn't matter how much tread you got left on them. Those tires are starting to fatigue. So just looking at your tires doesn't give you a good explanation of how good the tires are. And you need to understand your tire pressure. And that, of course, is on the side of the tire. I learned this, again, not the hard way, but I did learn it. The coach, inside the coach or inside the coach paperwork, it's going to tell you what the tire pressure should be. Well, that coach, when it was manufactured, you don't have the same tires on that coach. Go by the tires. You're usually going to have at least two pressures, one of which is a loaded weight and then a second loaded weight. So another reason for having your RV weighed, you need to know what pressure to run on those tires. And simply looking at them and checking the tread is not an indication of whether those tires are good or not.
Hello to Paul and Megan from Dreaming Out Loud.
Hey, Paul, Megan, Dreaming Out Loud RV. Proud that you are here. Tail swing. That's our next topic. We have owned 3 RVs.
Yep.
And 2 of our 3 RVs, not caused by us, but caused by previous owners, all had damage from tire swing. And you've all seen it. Usually that last compartment on the driver's side, it's both cases have been on the driver's side. And usually what that means is that they pulled into a gas pump and then they drove straight ahead and then turned too soon. And I know that 38-foot bounder had almost 18 feet of tail swing. I know that seems like a lot, but well, no, not 18 feet. Okay. It had 12 feet of tail swing. That was the most on any RV we've had.
Okay.
Usually it's like 6 to 8 feet of distance from the rear tire to the rear bumper.
Okay.
But both of those original RVs, the Bounder and the Holiday Rambler, both had evidence of tire swing damage. Tail swing. So understand tail swing. And basically what that is as you pull away from something, especially if you're close, when you start turning your wheel, it's going to pivot on the back axle. And the tail end, that distance of space between the back tire and the bumper, is going to swing around. So know your tail swing. And me and Mike, we tried to impress upon Joan and Barbara when they were test driving the RVs or giving it a try. We found a big parking lot down on base in Pensacola and let them drive around. And tail swing was something you had to understand.
I don't understand it. I just know it's there.
It definitely is there. And any of you who have ever been a bus driver, you know tail swing.
Yeah.
Okay. Tie down your awning or bring it in bad weather. That's really a no-brainer.
Or if you're going to leave your RV site for any length of time.
You want to tell the story?
We were camping out on the lake.
Yeah.
One of our favorite spots. We had water on both sides of us. So we were really enjoying it. We were both still working. So we left the day to go to our real jobs. And I came home early. I came to the RV earlier than you did. And the awning was on top of the RV because the wind had kicked up and the weather had kicked up while we were gone. So we had to work with that, got that fixed, and then not too far in the future from that,
Oh yeah, we
it
didn't
happened
learn our
again.
lesson once. We learned it twice
It happened again
in
And-
nearly the same spot.
in nearly the same spot, because I guess we had cross breezes and stuff like that.
But this time we were actually there watching it. We watched it happen. We were sitting at the picnic table.
And it happened quick.
Oh, very quick.
So yeah, we had that going, but we've got tie downs, or we put tie downs down after the second getting the awning off the roof, and of course that means you've got roof damage, awning damage, mechanism damage, and there's a lot going on with that.
I found the rafters and the cross beams and everything on eBay. Some guy had them sitting in a barn for that bounder and was able to put it back together, but it wasn't without an expenditure. It really was, and I was lucky. It crushed a couple of the fan covers on the roof of the RV, and I was able to buy those and replace them. Desert Adventures in Arizona. My RV tires are 7 years old this year. I'll need to
get a part-time job.
I know.
Them.
It ain't easy, but I tell you what, a blowout on the highway is not something you want to deal with.
And Barrett said that he was thinking about tie downs, but wasn't sure about how much protection they offer. They do a pretty good job. Now,
they do.
Obviously, you're serious about your tie downs too.
I am very serious. As soon as the awning comes out, I don't care if it's if there's no breeze moving, if there's no wind moving, I'm throwing that tie down through. And mine are is a nylon strap with a spring loaded anchor and 2 stakes in the ground, and it's not going anywhere. It never has since, and that's been 3 RVs ago, and I swear by it.
Yeah,
it's just a Campco awning tie down from Campco is the one that I got.
Welcome to Doreen from Camping Therapy.
Hello, Doreen.
It's good to see you, Doreen.
Proud that you're here.
Yes.
We are discussing what we've learned so far, part 2. Last weekend, we did part 1, and these are some more topics because you can never cover them all. Understand your extended warranty if you are fool enough to have it.
Hello to How to Garden. It's good to have you here.
Hello, How to Garden. Proud that you're here. Yeah, understand your extended warranty. Had I understood my extended warranty, I would have never bought it. When we bought this, our 3rd RV, we were offered the extended warranty. Sounded good to me. 2007 RV. I need the extended warranty. Doesn't cover the drive chain. Doesn't cover the chassis, the Freightliner chassis. And apparently anything that's wrong with the RV now that was wrong with it when we bought it ain't covered.
Oh, mercy.
The big slide, the living room slide, we're having problems with it coming in. I've mentioned this on other live streams. And so I went to have the air system, the compressor and the air brakes and the air ride suspension checked because I had a leak. I had to pay for that out of pocket. And I told him to check the slide, which was covered by the body of the RV. So they checked it out and told me what was wrong with it and gave me an estimate of how much it would be. Thousands upon thousands of dollars. And I said, well, good. Let's get to work. That's covered under the warranty. Well, no, sir, it's not, because that is probably caused by water damage. There's some delamination on the slide, which is causing the floor of the slide to bind when I bring it in. So they said that was caused by water damage. So I would need to contact my insurance, not the extended warranty. And I was like, okay, Jack Henry, where do I sign to get rid of this extended warranty? I ain't paying another flipping year on this So anyway, if you have it, understand it. Understand 120 volts and 12 volts. Seems kind of simple for those of us who have RV'd for a long time. But you got two electrical systems in your RV. One is powered by the house batteries, whether that be a bank of 4 6-volt batteries or two 12-volt batteries or two 6-volt batteries. Or if you've got solar, some huge lithium ion or some big batteries. The point is, some of the lights, most of the lights in your RV are 12 volt. Most of your appliances are 120 volts. That's why when you're just boondocking, you can run your house lights. You can operate your slides. If you have, in my case, an electric hydraulic motor or electric motor for your slides. So if you're a new RVer, understanding the difference between your 120 volt system and your 12 volt system will help you a great deal, because you figure when you stop, you go plug in your fan or your TV and it don't work. Why not? Well, it ain't 12 volts in most cases. So that's a biggie. Here's one from Miss Barbara, only because she deals with this more than I do.
Yeah.
Dishes and utensils.
Well, if we're going to be someplace for a length of time and we have full hookups, I prefer possibly to use plastic or regular dishes, plates and stuff, and real utensils, because it's easier to eat with.
Doreen says, were we able to cancel the extended warranty? Hadn't checked into it yet, Doreen. Going to, though. Go ahead. Anyway, utensils.
Utensils. I prefer to use regular stainless steel utensils.
Silverware, right.
Silverware. But I do use a lot of plasticware, and I do use a lot of paper plates. Usually that's because we're boondocking or something like that.
We have boondocked a whole lot.
Yeah, lately we have.
So we've
used a lot of that.
Yeah.
But I do tend to buy the thicker plates. I don't like styrofoam because you can't really use them in the microwave. Paper plates, if you get the thin ones, and you've got to use 2 or 3 paper plates at a time. So I tend to go ahead and go to like Sam's and buy the big thing of Chinette paper plates.
As Miss E, which is the Aloha part of Aloha Conch, Miss E says burnable silverware or burnable dinnerware.
Yeah.
Which means that paper plates, you can burn them in the fireplace. Good deal.
Good deal. But so I tend to use, again, it depends on what we're doing. I like to have regular utensils and regular plates and stuff there so that we don't feel like we're always eating on paper plates. I don't care to do dishes that often.
Especially when you're boondocking.
Especially when you're boondocking.
Right.
But if we are boondocking, and even when we're not boondocking, I try to do my dishes in a dish pan rather than just a sink, so that I could pour the soapy water into the toilet and stuff to help, with that. But it's just a preference. We use them both. It just depends on what your camping experience is at that time.
Water pressure regulator. And again, I'm speaking to a lot of first-time RVers. I know that most of us in this room now are fairly experienced, but you know that the water pressure from park to park is entirely different. You can go from one park with 100 PSI to a park with 40 PSI to a park with 30 PSI to a park, holy cow, they're trying to put out the fire on the 110th floor. 120 pounds of, pressure. The point is, especially if you have an older RV, you don't want to be throwing that much pressure up in that plumbing. So get yourself a pressure regulator. They make them very simple, and they make them with a liquid gauge on them. I prefer to have the liquid gauge because then I can see what pressure it is. I can even regulate the pressure with a screwdriver so that I can get the pressure I want. I like the pressure to be around 50 pounds PSI, and that gives you good water flow for a shower, for the sink and the toilet. Anything below that, you start to have to step under the shower head. You know, it's kind of a rainfall situation with a drip going on. Anything more than that, you stand the chance that in an older RV, you could possibly damage the plumbing. So get a voltage regulator, and while I'm not voltage, a water regulator, and while you're at it, get yourself a surge suppressor for your power, and get a water filter or a filtration system for your shore water. Okay, make sure you get those, and that kind of goes hand in hand with that. Miss Barbara, the next one.
Plan for the unexpected.
Always plan for the unexpected. You know, that's not just RVing, that's everyday life. Plan for the unexpected. If you're full-time RVing, something gonna break.
Yeah, and you need to have a little bit of extra money, a reserve fund or a slush fund. Now, our credit union that we use, that I've used forever, Navy Federal Credit Union, I have a it's a override protection if I go over my amount, and mine happens to be $5,000, which came in handy when we had a problem, because I could just write a check and it would automatically clear.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a situation where I would have to, put it on I still had to pay it back.
Sure.
But it automatically paid it, and then I worked on paying it back. But you have to have some sort of plan for the unexpected. One thing that I have done, and so far it's working for us, the price of gas has gone up so much. In my monthly budget, I have X number of dollars for fuel, for the TSP program or whatever it's called.
All right, Dan, nice day, man. Good to see you. Anyway, Justin and Christine say if it's going to happen, it will happen. That's Murphy's Law.
Absolutely.
If it's going to happen, it will happen. That is Murphy's Law. Thank you, Mary Jones. We appreciate that. Our moderator stepping in right there. The next item, biggie. This is a biggie. And personal protection. And I'm talking in the case of firearms. Now, there's RVers who don't travel with firearms. There are those who do. I'm not saying whether we do or not. Look at my face. The point is, a lot of military installations where we camp,
right,
do not allow firearms. But that doesn't mean we don't travel or can't travel without a firearm. If you have a situation where you're going to a military park or a park that does not allow firearms, find a local pawn shop. Go ahead and do a Google search and find a local pawn shop. Go over and pay them a couple of bucks to hold your firearm for you. They have a vault. They can lock your firearm up. And when you're done at the campsite, you can get it back. Just wanted to mention that option. Because, again, a lot of the military bases, and I mean they will search your RV. We've been searched many a time. But that's only for those folks who are on military installations. But if your campsite doesn't allow firearms and you happen to be a family who does have firearms,
you can have a fishing bat or bear spray. They're handy to have.
What the heck is a fishing bat?
I don't know.
I'll be 64 years old on the 19th of this month, and I've never heard of a fishing bat.
It must be a
Come on,
Canadian
Justin.
thing.
Is it Canadian, a fishing bat? I mean, I have used a bat, which is a short bat, to beat a mackerel. You bring the mackerel into the boat, and I mean, he's thrashing everywhere, and you have to kind of whack him a few times in the head. I guess that's what you're talking about, but that's a point well given there.
That's important.
Rent an RV or cabin. If you're new to RVing, you're probably not on this channel right now. But if you're new to RVing, a baseball bat, that's what James Catanese says.
Yeah.
Shanna Craft is here. Hello, Shanna. We've already said hello, I'm sure. Miss Barbara's looking up fishing bat.
It looks like a regular bat, but
kind of short.
Probably short, yeah.
Boy, you almost have some dangerous
size.
fish up there in Canada. I mean, I've never beat a brim to death with a bat.
However, we do have a baseball bat by the front door of the house.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Yeah. So
anyway, rent an RV or cabin. So if you're a new-time RVer and you want to see what it's all about, you don't even have to get an RV. You can just go rent a cabin and see if that lifestyle is good for you, or rent an RV. What you got, Miss Barbara?
Nothing. I was just looking at the stream.
Oh, anyway,
we're being hit by a bunch of
strangers. I know. We got a.
That's okay.
Yeah.
They're entitled.
Get to know your RV. Get to know your RV information. Gross vehicle weight, tire loads, and the only way you're going to know that is to take it to a CAT scale or somewhere else. And if you can find one that will individually measure your wheels, not just your axles, but your wheels, you will get a better sense of your weight distribution in your RV, Class A, Class B, C, your towable, or your class, your fifth wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But you need to know those things. The height of your RV. You need to know the height of your RV. In some cases, you need to know what the distance is between your bumper hitch and your axle. Some states restrict that distance. So you need to know how many feet it is from your bumper hitch, your actual ball joint, or your fifth wheel hitch, all the way back to your first axle. They will actually restrict those in some states. You'll need to know. Height is very important to know the height of your RV. So I measure the height of the RV, and then I give myself about 6 inches. Because I'm going to tell you what, if I'm any less than 6 inches, I'm already tightened up anyway, if you know what I mean. All right, another topic. Yeah, bridge weights. Absolutely. That know the overall weight. Good deal, James. Travel day. These are things you do before you leave for the trip, and those things you do when you get back from the trip.
Right.
So this would be a great opportunity to do some searching on YouTube and find out what channels. I know that you being the RV, Phil and Stacy have a checklist that you can use. And these are things to do before you head out on a road trip.
Right.
And when you get back from the road trip, there are certain things you need to do. So know what those are. It's very important. And hand in hand with that topic is, how do you stow stuff? We have a routine where we stow certain items in certain ways. Basically, our bed is unusable as a bed when we travel.
Right, because we have to put stuff on it.
Well, we don't have to, but we choose to.
Well, we've got the bedroom TV.
Yeah.
It's not mounted to anything. So
right.
That goes on the bed. And just some of the things that would slip and slide. So those go in the bedroom, either on the bed or tucked underneath the bed as it gets pulled in on the slide. So
Camping Therapy says hers is 7 feet 3 inches.
And
according to the brochure. Well, remember, Doreen, now that height will change depending on the type tires that you have.
It's true.
So little things make a difference. If you, Miss Doreen, if you come up on a bridge that is 7 feet 4 inches, are you comfortable? If you know by the brochure you're 7'3", are you comfortable? But that is something to know. Justin and Christine are just under 9 feet.
Yep.
Just under 9 feet. Outdoor. Let's talk about the outdoors for a minute.
Okay.
You got to know what type of outdoor life you like. We know friends in our RVing community who really have no outdoor life.
That's true.
They drive to the campsite. They hook up all their utilities, their power, and their water and their sewer, and they live in their RV. And they might occasionally bring out a lawn chair. It really depends on where we are camping. Sometimes we camp like that, but more often than not, we like to spread out. We get to a state park or a Corps of Engineer park or military camp. We put out the mat. We put out the lawn chairs. We get the black stone out. We set up. We get some lights out. So understanding what type of camping, this goes hand in hand with the very first topic on part 1 last weekend. You don't need what you think you need.
Right.
You won't know what you need until you go camping. But if you're an outside person, you like to spend a lot of time outside of the RV, you'll need a mat, some good lawn chairs, whether that's bag chairs or foldable rockers or the what do they call the other one? The ones you just lay out on?
Those are Chase Lounge.
Chase Lounge type chair. So you'll need to know what you need. Charcoal grill or maybe a gas grill or a Blackstone or something like that. Lights, outdoor speaker, respecting the other campgrounds, of course. But
he doesn't respect the other campgrounds.
Wait a minute. That's only when I'm with my brother.
I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me.
All right, I'm going to let you sneeze. We got 7 minutes left. I want to thank all you folks for being here. 20 folks in the room right now. We really appreciate it. Want to thank our moderators for intervening. We also want to thank our channel members.
Yes.
We thank y'all so much for being members of RV Underway. And if you look in the description below, you'll see a name of the channels and also their link. We would certainly appreciate it if you would go and visit those sites.
I don't know if they're still here, but I do know that Shanna Craft came in. Want to make sure we say hello to Shanna. And Brian with B&D Crafts and such. I think Crafts and More. Anyway, he's one of our members.
Great.
He was here earlier.
Great to have y'all. We appreciate it so much. But the link in the description below has all of the links in there as well. That's right, Camping Therapy. I know that when we're headed for areas west, we go on I-10 through Mobile. And, of course, the Mobile Tunnel has restriction on propane tanks. So you'll need to know those type of restrictions as well. And Miss Barbara, traveling with pets. Okay. We got 6 minutes left. Traveling with pets.
All right. Welcome back, Brian. Traveling with pets. You've got to know.
We're going to fly through these, so go ahead.
Ooh.
Yep.
We bring several leashes.
Yep.
Harnesses. We also bring a harness.
Flashlight to walk her at night.
We don't crate her, but a lot of people do.
Yep. Make sure you have her veterinarian information, her records for her inoculations and things like that, or his in this case. I don't want to be sexist about pets, but make sure you have the pet's paperwork and you have everything your pet will need, including medications and
shot records. You're absolutely right. You have to be able to show that your dogs are or pets are up to date on their rabies.
Clothing.
Okay.
We pack for the summer when it's summer, and we pack for the winter when it's winter. But if you're a full-time RVer and you don't have a home base, You got to kind of bare necessities for space. Know your wet bay. I'm going to leave that at that. Know your wet bay. If you're a new time RVer, get to know your wet bay, how it operates, whether you have flushing mechanisms, buy some rubber gloves, get in there, know your wet bay. Towed vehicle. Miss Barbara, when we're getting ready to leave, she'll drive it in. I'll guide her in. We'll hook it up. I'll test all the connections. And then she gets behind the towed vehicle when I pull the RV forward to make sure the wheels turn and all the lights are operating.
Yes.
Okay. Registration paperwork, insurance, vet information, shot records, concealed carry card. Getting back to that other topic we were talking about. Okay. Practice run. If you're a new time RVer, close to home, go somewhere, do a practice run. If you're missing something, you can drive back to the house and get it, or drive to a store and grab it. That'll give you a great indication. We did practice runs for about the first year.
Yeah.
We never went, well, with the exception, we never went more than 35 miles away from the house.
No, not the first year.
And we had a blast and learned a lot about RVing.
Yep.
Make a list. Like these lists. Make a list of what you need for a trip. Preparing to leave checklist to download. There's many channels out there. Again, Phil and Stacy at You, Me, and the RV have a great checklist that you can download in Excel format and modify it, personalize it, customize it. And finally, knowing the campground rules. Knowing the campground rules. When you check into a campground, you're always going to be given a piece of information with the rules on it. Abide by those. Okay. And finally, last but not least, on part 2, we'll probably do a part 3 because there's just so much stuff. Explore the area.
Enjoy the trip. I mean, that's why we're out there.
Why are you out there? I mean, if you're just going to drive to a state park, park your RV for 3 days, stay inside the RV and watch TV or YouTube. Get out and enjoy, explore. You know, that's why you travel, to enjoy it, to get to see things you don't often see. So
yeah, and friends.
Oh God,
and you see the friends that you
absolutely
haven't seen or have never met in person.
Proceeding onward in America.
Yes, they are. I've been getting ready. You've been talking. I've been waiting for an opportunity
and
to say
Junior.
To Junior. You know, I know. I've told at least Nursing Our Travel. I told Natasha, I'm obsessed with that baby. That baby is beautiful.
He is.
And happy.
He is.
And I mean, I know it's always easier to put on happy pictures and stuff like that than having to deal with, just a baby growing up. But he is beautiful, beautiful. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to go see those pictures on Facebook that Becky puts out there, and Fabian. Love that baby. I just
want to thank all you folks for being here on this Sunday. I know that was a lot of information between part 1 and part 2. We've dumped a lot of information, things that are helpful for new time RVers and maybe those who just haven't given it a thought. But we want to thank you for coming on for part 2 of things we have learned so far, and also helping us celebrate our 40th anniversary. Yes. Our 40th wedding anniversary was a week and a half ago, and the Aloha Conch sent us $5. Thank you so much, Aloha Conch. We certainly appreciate that super chat, and we're out of time.
We are out of time.
I don't know if I like these doing these type of topics or not, because you can't stop talking.
Well,
you got to fly.
You do, but what we need to do is do a follow-up video on something.
Yeah, we'll do a video. We got so many now. Anyway, thank all of y'all for being here. Thank you, channel members, for being here. We certainly appreciate your support. Thank you, Aloha Conch, for that $5 super chat. And everybody, until we see you next Sunday with gosh knows what kind of topic we'll have. That'll be our last weekend at home before we hit the road.
Yep.
I hope you have a great Sunday, a great remainder to your weekend, a great week ahead. And until we see you again, Fair winds and following seas. Bye, y'all.